It's ready? So I'm Wilson Tiren. I'm field assistant field researcher, Nick. I work as a community liaison officer. As he said before, we started this project in 2014 up to now. So personally, I'll say yes, it does actually. It gives us to understand the complex history that was there before about the origin of the tribe Ilchamus itself. So by involving the community and engaging with the old, because we started with the interviews and interviewing the old age and try to understand and get their views. And I think it was very productive and bringing the community together to understand the culture by itself. So perhaps personally by myself, I say I learned a lot because initially I never actually, it was an issue that was very disturbing. No one knew about the theory that explained the origin of this tribe. But thanks with the research that we did, it actually related us and brought us somewhere close to where we might understand the origin of the tribe by now. Okay. Most of the elders, either an elder woman or an elder man, most of them participated, bringing in the knowledge, the whole knowledge and the history they learned from their for grandparents. And so they helped us a lot in enriching the research. And I think by mostly we were interviewing them. So this one actually helped a lot in keeping the culture and understanding the past, the present and the future of the tribe. Yeah.
Would you say this is the first research that has really involved the community?
Sincerely, I'll say yes, this is the first ever research that the data is exposed to the community. So we found like most of the researchers come in, they just do the research, the final product doesn't come down to the community. So we feel like this is the first and an opportunity for the community to understand and to also learn about the previous culture. So and also it will give them the privilege to actually keep their culture rich. So I'll say personally, according to my view, this is one of the best researchers that's ever done. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say because I was part of it, but I'll say this is one of the researchers that was done, and the product, either recorded, photograph, was brought back to the community.
Sasa tumeona ni asante sana, mlete ile mradi ya zamani tuone. Hiyo mapicha yote ya zamani, tumeona watu wa zamani. Na kama yetu yusi tumeona tu, sasa tumefurahia. Hata mkujeni karibu tena, fundisheni sisi. Tumeona furaha sana kwa hii culture yetu. Sasa iko ule wanashonanga ni wale wa mama wengine, iko na vitu ya kushona. Lakini hata sisi pia tutaendelea kushona. Asante.
Okay. My name is, do I talk to the camera or to you? Okay. Right. So, my name is Nick Petek Sargent. I'm a researcher at the University of Cambridge, and together with my very big team, we've prepared an exhibition, a touring exhibition that travels all through Ilchamus area to celebrate their history, their culture, and the land, and show how it's changed, how everything has developed, and how this culture has persisted through all the different challenges that have come to this area over the last 200 years, both from the environmental perspective to the cultural challenges that they've had here in terms of preserving the culture. So my research started by looking at this relationship between Ilchamus lifestyle and the environment, and how they were both linked together. So from the beginnings, when the Ilchamus were farming using irrigation at two of the big villages, Ilchamus Leabori and Ilchamus Lekeper, to later on when the environment became wetter, the rains were better, so they dispersed, they became pastoralists, and that's kind of the link. A lot of the people before wanted to be pastoralists, but because of insecurities in the 1800s, they couldn't. But when the environment, when the weather became better, and when the conditions, political conditions became better, people could start becoming pastoralists, so they did, so they dispersed. And pastoralism's kind of really important for the savanna regions in East Africa and Africa throughout, because pastoralist homesteads, they once abandoned, they become biodiversity hotspots. And these are really important for preservation of trees, the native species here, they bring grasses, and as people are pushed more and more into tighter spaces, these kind of biodiversity hotspots are disappearing, but also with climate change coming in, that's impacting farming that's happening here. So Baringo is receiving a lot more rain than it used to 10 years ago, but people feel like it's drier here than ever before because there's more rain in fewer days, so the crops have to survive more time without any water, or people rely on irrigation more, and becomes quite problematic of like who can access irrigation, you need resources, and then that also impacts the land and food security. And this is something that we've researched, is how people have survived and thrived in this landscape, but also the challenges that they've had. It's not always rosy in the past, and sometimes even today. It's not rosy, but in many cases it is better. But then again, what causes that food insecurity? What causes prosperity in the region? And how we can help people adapt to the changes that are happening with some of the insights from the past in terms of how they farmed, what they farmed. Is there scope for this? Is there an economic opportunity for sorghum, millet, and cowpeas, which used to be farmed here and were very successful because they are drought resistant? And if there aren't any economic incentives, should there be to help people, to help with the prosperity, to help people thrive here, not just here in Baringo, but in other dry areas of Kenya. Sorry. It is becoming more common for archaeologists to engage with communities. It's in fact becoming really common. Everybody's starting to do it. But it didn't used to be so in the past, because now we're realizing how important it is, not just to do the research, but for the communities to have continuous access to the objects, and the narratives and the histories that come from this land, be it recent or further in the past, so thousands of years, or like in Turkana, where they continuously find new fossils, even to those things, and that we engage with people because it creates a healthy culture today. It breeds creativity in terms of people taking inspiration from the past, like we were trying to do here today, and is just getting increasing accessibility, because many of the collections are in Nairobi. Many of the photographs and films that used to be taken in the past, they're in European archives and museums. So this needs to change, and that's not just me, but a lot of people. That's what they're trying to do, is bring it here, to create also that connection between the past and the present, to create the stronger bond between their culture and the landscape. Because then I think that also kind of facilitates that people care for the land. They care what happens there, they get involved. And it's not just some distant past, someone else's history. It becomes their history if they can touch it, if they can see it, and if it's told by their peers and their elders. It's not disconnected. it becomes, everything becomes connected to between people, between the community, between ages and the land itself.
And
I've started this research in 2014 as part of a European funded project, and we've been working here for 10 years now, quite closely with pretty much the same people, so it took a while to build that relationship. And one of my favorite experiences is we've been interviewing elders about the history of the Ilchamus community and kind of some of the more important stories that they tell. And one of those is that Ilchamus Calture, one of the two main villages that the Ilchamus used to live in the 19th century, was attacked by the Maasai and burned to the ground. And a man named Lekesio, he was thinking something's not right here with the Maasai coming and pretending to be friends. So he took some of the younger boys and brought them to safety before the village got burned down. And when we were excavating that village in 2015, we could find that completely burnt down village, that layer, and everything was essentially preserved as the life was back then. And we can bring that history into today. And only yesterday we met the person who was the great grandson of this Lekesio who saved the boys back then. So it's really exciting just being able to connect everyone to this story and for the people to be able to then, touch the remains of the village. The Ilchamus the community has been really excited to see this research. For some people it's been very special to seeing the pictures of their grandmothers or their grandfathers or some of the friends from 60, 70 years ago, and to be able to see what we can find if we excavate those villages. It's just been exciting, brilliant. Like people get really involved, and they come to us, they come to the team, and they tell their stories, their memories. So it kind of never ends. We can always build on these stories, always find something new. We can add memories to objects which might be quite common, but when people see them and they remember, they become kind of part of their biography.